Back with us now, Congresswoman Nancy Mace from House Oversight. Congresswoman, it's great to see you. So it looks like, the Republicans say that Democrats, it's great to see you. The Republicans are saying, listen, Democrats are running roughshod over us. They're railroading us. But it looks like top Democrats, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, are doing the same to House moderates. That's how they feel. This is a tremendous fight that's breaking out inside the Democrat Party. It's led by House Democrat Pete DeFazio, also Senators Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema. They're all in a fight. So can they get anything across the finish line?
It doesn't look like it unless they do it through budget reconciliation, which is how they forced the $1.9 trillion so-called COVID relief package earlier this year. And quite frankly, I think Chuck Schumer's taking a note out of Nancy Pelosi's playbook. You're not going to be able to see what's in this infrastructure package, the spending, until after it's passed. I don't know how you can debate an infrastructure bill that hasn't been written. It doesn't exist. And forget human infrastructure. I'm going to call this ghost infrastructure.
We hear you. I mean, we hear you loud and clear. I mean, they're trying to blow out the size of government in the biggest expansion in about a half a century. Even Democrat economists like Jason Furman, who worked under President Obama, says all this money is not needed. And now Republicans are saying to Democrats, with all of your spending, with your push to go it alone without us and our votes, you're on your own. We will not vote with you to raise the federal debt ceiling because you're blowing out the debt. So it seems like Senator McConnell is seeing the infighting in the Democrat Party and how split they are, and is really taking it right to them. What do you say?
Well, it's enormously problematic because the inflation that we have right now, Democrats are literally making the cost of everything go up. Inflation has tripled since the start of the year. The consumer price index for the first half of the year was 5.4%, the largest spike seen in our country since 2008 when we had the recession. And in order to make the $1 trillion infrastructure package actually work, they've had to pile on another $3.5 trillion in spending to get socialists like Bernie Sanders and AOC on board with an infrastructure package. Now, I got to tell you, back in the state of South Carolina, and I'm assuming states across the country, they don't know how to spend all this COVID relief money, which is why there's $2 trillion outstanding in COVID relief funds. We could do massive $1 trillion infrastructure package by using what's left over without raising taxes. And this could all be done in a bipartisan way. But the socialists are driving the agenda.
Yeah, we hear you. Now, they want $4 trillion in spending if the infrastructure deal doesn't come through. I mean,
so
we're
crazy.
already in the first 6 months. It's equal to what Obama spent during his entire term and what they want now. And if they have to deal with the debt ceiling first. It expires at the end of the month. They have to tackle that first before they do these other bills. And it seems like there's so much infighting, they can't even get Democrat votes to get rid of the filibuster. I don't know how they're going to get their act together, to take it across the finish line. And the other thing is they don't have a mandate. It's 50-50 split in the Senate. It's the lowest margin of, of leadership for the Democrats since World War I in the House. I mean, if 90,000 votes went the other way, the Republicans would be running the show. It just seems like they don't have their act together right now.
No, they absolutely do not. And I was actually going to say that this is not a mandate on this kind of big spending, and $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there is only going to make inflation worse. And inflation is taxation because we all pay for it when we're at the grocery store or we're getting gasoline, just getting everyday normal products and services. And the other thing is that the election in November, as you said, the Senate is divided 50-50. The House has the slimmest majority since World War I. This is a mandate on working together in a bipartisan way. But so far, it's been all talk. They want to talk about working together, but they're not actually willing to do it. And look at what's happening with the criminal justice reform bill down in the Senate. Senator Tim Scott trying to lead the way, and it's just not working. This is a time for us to work together where we can. Look at the violence happening in this country that you previewed earlier in the program. I mean, we've got a lot of work to do to heal our nation. It can be done if we have some people with common sense up there, but it's very much lacking.
I'm telling you, we're looking at the earnings conference calls with big companies like Unilever, Fastenal, Conagra, PG&E, General Mills. Congresswoman, they're saying, this is eating into our profit margins, their input costs, and we have to raise prices. And these companies are warning about that. We're not saying stagflation, but they're warning about it. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We'll have you back on again soon.